Hello, everyone. This is Professor DePaulo. Welcome you to Psych 220 Behavioral Statistics, fully online. And so I've logged into the Blackboard page. You may have a different section than what I'm showing, a different semester, but this is basically what it's going to look like. On the left hand side, you're going to have all of these links, and actually, it would look more like this. I'm showing you my picture. This is what your Blackboard environment will look like, and you're going to have announcements, which are your default. E-learning orientation. So I suggest you take the e-learning orientation if you've never taken an online class before. I've taken it myself. It's pretty good. So take the e-learning orientation if you're new to online, especially for a course like this. You have your course information tab. This is where you're going to have your syllabus and other important documents. The most important tab is your weekly guide tab in Blackboard, because this is going to list week by week what you have to do. So every week you're going to go to the weekly guide, find your week that you're in, and then do all the assignments. And there's a couple other things. This is a little bit about me. It's not very interesting. This is help and resources, course dashboard and tools. And so this is the key here. The most important being the weekly guide that you will go to, and I'll show you that in a second. So the basic welcome message is telling you that you should be all excited to start learning about statistics like I am. Not learning, I'm always learning, but teaching you guys. And that this is my favorite course to teach, pandemic or no pandemic. Unfortunately, I would be teaching this preferably in the classroom, but since that's not possible right now, I'm going to try to provide you the most positive, the most enlightening online statistics course you can have. And I have a bunch of different ideas. You're limited by some things online, and there's other things that are more creative ways of going about doing things. So hopefully it won't be too bad. I prefer teaching face to face because I can have more of an interaction with students, and you can have more like a workshop feel at times when students have problems. But we can do most of that through Zoom. And I actually have a graphing tablet, although I've never used a graphing tablet before, and it's like the strangest thing ever. So please be patient with the graphing tablet, because you write on the tablet basically and it shows up on the screen. And my brain is kind of still getting used to this idea of writing on a blank canvas and having it appear on the screen. It's quite strange considering I have no artistic ability or graphic artist um, potential in me. So I don't know if I'm going to change the tablet or not, but there'll be some kind of tablet that I can use to interact with you and write things through Zoom. Zoom has a whiteboard, and I can sketch out problems that way with you guys through Zoom. And I will also record my lectures every week on YouTube, so everything will be on YouTube, and you'll be able to access that along with the problems. And then you have online homeworks as well. So basically, how the course is going to work is I'm going to provide you lectures online, problems online. You're going to have homework every week to complete. It's all online because we're all online these days. And I'll have office hours, so I'll have live office hours Mondays 2 to 4, Wednesdays 1 to 2, and by appointment. But those are my set office hours, and you can drop by through Zoom. I will actually send out in the announcements page, and then through your email, I will send out reminders every week, and you'll just click on the link and you'll be able to log onto the Zoom, and then we can Zoom, and there's a whiteboard on Zoom. So I'm hoping that's going to be a good solution for a lot of this. And my uh, my camera is shot, and I have to get some new equipment, but you can hear me through the microphone, and you know that'll be good enough through the Zoom for now. And I can write on the tablet, and so um, eventually I'll get the camera fixed. If you have any questions, drop by Zoom or email me, and I get back to you within 24 hours, but usually much sooner. I can get back to you within 20 minutes, within 10 minutes sometimes. Depends on how often I'm checking my phone. Depends on what else I'm doing. We're living through a very difficult time, but I'm trying to make myself as available as possible. And so if you have questions, you can contact me through email, show up at the Zoom sessions. If we can't make the Zoom sessions, we can try to work out an alternative time. And, you know, I'm pretty much hands on with people as much as possible. I'm making this introductory video to help you with the course and show you some things that you need to be guided through and walk you through the syllabus. So I hope you'll watch this and that it helps you. So once again, let's look at these tabs here on the left of Blackboard. This is your Blackboard homepage. And under course information, you're going to see syllabus and you're going to see MindTap. So MindTap is not optional. It's the required software for the course. And I understand, you don't want to be shelling out money for things, but this course is going to be basically impossible to teach online without having you do some homework online and have practice online. And so this is for your benefit. It's going to drill home the concepts. It's going to walk you through problems. It's going to allow you to do practice problems and show you step by step how to use it. So it's quite interesting. I like it. I've used it, before on my own, but now I'm using it in this course. And there'll be homework assignments every week. So that's something you're going to have to get. You're either going to buy the MindTap software, which comes with the ebook. So it comes with the ebook, or you're going to buy the loose leaf combined with the MindTap from the bookstore. So the bookstore has loose leaf. If you don't need the loose leaf, you can just buy the ebook that comes with the MindTap. The one in the bookstore has the loose leaf combined with the access card, which you're going to use to register for MindTap. You do get a 2-week free trial to check it out, but it's not optional. You have to buy it. It'd be great if this could be an open access course with no fees and no textbook, but in statistics, that would be really difficult. I mean, you wouldn't want a free textbooks in statistics are not written very well. They're either super advanced or they're just not really up to par as far as intro books. So you're going to have to, bite the bullet and spend a little money right now and see if you can purchase the MindTap software because it will benefit you for the course. And it's kind of necessary in this online environment. So let me get back to that in a second. I'm going to go to the syllabus. We're going to walk you through the syllabus. I'll walk you through it. You'll follow me. So this is a 3-credit course. It is fully online this semester. You should have basic mathematics and algebra as your prerequisites, and also Psych 100. So the Math 12 and Math 51, these are the really, really basic remedial courses. So this is the stuff that you're going to find in Appendix A of your textbook. They're going to have you review the first week. Can you do order of operations? Can you multiply, divide, add, subtract correctly? Can you manipulate a single variable in a very simple equation? There's not a lot of math involved. I am de-emphasizing math, but there is some computation. It's mostly multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, exponents, and using the order of operations, solving things, computing things. But there's not really much algebraically going on. There might be, 1 or 2 things algebraically that you have to do, like a linear regression, where you have to plot the line. It's very basic stuff. It's not, there's nothing, excessive like calculus or anything like that. You don't really get to the point where you need all this high-level stuff, high-level math, until you get to multivariate stats, and that's not until graduate school. If you choose to do that, many of you won't. Some of you will, but many of you won't. And for those that are even going, to a master's program, pretty much all master's programs require a course similar to this in statistics. So this will unfortunately not be your first and last sort of attempt at this or visitation of statistics. You're going to have it in the future. And it's something that a lot of students are deathly afraid of, and there's no real reason for that. I mean, there's no reason to be, terrified of statistics. I'm going to try to make it as nice and kind and gentle as possible for you and as enjoyable as possible. It is work. I mean, it's a difficult course for a lot of students at BMCC. It's taught the similar way that I taught stats at Rutgers, which was a 4-year institution and it was a 300 level course. So it's taught around approximately the same. I mean, I had a lot more students at Rutgers than I do at BMCC, but I would say it's basically the same content. I generally use SPSS to do the analysis on the computer, but since we're not, around the computer lab or we're not allowed access to the computer lab, I can't really have you do that. There is an SPSS portal that you can log in remotely. The problem is that many students have extreme difficulty, especially if they have Macs. They have some difficulty logging into the portal, and I generally have to troubleshoot it or have to send them to service desk. And how do I do that now online? I can't look at your Mac or your PC. You can't bring it to class and show it to me, and I can't, send you to service desk because everything is virtual. So that idea is kind of troublesome. I don't want to make that a requirement. Um, but if you want to learn SPSS and stuff, I can give you the link to the portal and give you materials that I use in my normal face-to-face classes for SPSS. You can learn SPSS. You can learn R, which is more command line driven. It's something I use a lot, but it's a very steep learning curve for a lot of students. So I didn't want to mandate that, but I'm very flexible with giving you more stuff to do if you want more stuff to do. I'm going to teach you some stuff in Excel this semester to how to do some data analysis in Excel. It's not the best package to do stats in, but it's something that I use and you'll find it useful. People on the job in the corporate world use Excel all the time. So it's not the best data package, but it's good for prepping data, manipulating data in certain ways. And I'll be going through some basic analysis with you in Excel, teaching how to do like pivot charts, pivot tables, things like that you may know already, may not. But these are useful data analytic techniques, especially if you have a job or you're going for a job. I'm really a strong proponent of Excel, and it's free because Microsoft Office is free for all BMCC students. And I talked about that later. My contact is through Zoom. I have my phone number here, but I will not be in my office, so don't call that number. I mean, it does go to my email account, but you're better off just emailing me because your phone call will go to my email account anyway. So email is the main contact, and I will be in Zoom. And I have Wednesday 2 to 3. It's going to be 1 to 2, although I can stay extra. The reason I put 2 to 3 here was because I didn't know that BMCC was having club hours, which is kind of strange given that it's a pandemic and there's no meetings. But I guess they're going to have virtual club. So who knows? We're in a virtual world, virtual everything, virtual clubs, virtual classes. You know, eventually you're going to have virtual everything. So in this virtual world, there's going to be virtual clubs. So I moved it up from 1 to 2 on Wednesday, but I can stay extra. I'm not going anywhere at that time. Course description, we will be talking about probability, descriptive stats, correlation regression, t-test, ANOVA, chi-square. And we'll be learning how to analyze the data using Excel this semester and how to report it in APA style, which is just basically if you're writing a research paper in psychology. These are the student learning outcomes. You could read through that. It's not very interesting. These are the general education learning outcomes. You could read through that. It's not very interesting, at least to me. Required reading, Graviter, Wallnow, and Forzano, 2018. Essentials of Statistics for the Behavioral Sciences, 9th edition. Plus, very importantly, MindTap Psychology Enhanced. Now, this is the actual reading I listed here is if you buy the loose leaf version, right? If you just want the digital access, I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to go to the Cengage website and you can request the launch, not the launchpad, the MindTap access through Cengage, and you'll get the ebook. So the MindTap program itself comes with the ebook. If you're comfortable reading the text off your computer or off your phone or tablet, then the ebook is fine. I read ebooks. It doesn't matter. I'm fine with ebooks. I mean, my vision is pretty poor. I'm always in front of a computer. It's probably getting worse. But I read ebooks off my phone. I read them off of the tablet. I read them on the PC. I have no problem with ebook. But if you like a solid, a foundational book in front of you, you can buy the loose leaf because it's cheaper. If you don't like the loose leaf, you can go to Cengage and you can get the MindTap access through Cengage, and then you can rent the book for cheaper through them as well. Or you can rent it from somewhere else also if you want to rent it, if you want a hard copy of the book. It's really up to you. I mean, I think the loose leaf is pretty decent for most people. However, if you want this book for like the long term, if you want this for like 5 or 10 years, like let's say you're going to go to graduate school and you want to have the book, before graduate school just as a reference, you can actually buy the book with the MindTap. It doesn't matter. It's just going to be much more expensive. But you can do that through Cengage or you can do it through Amazon. The bookstore tends to be more expensive. It's Barnes and Nobles. So remember, it's Barnes and Nobles, not like a discount bookstore. But you can buy the stuff through the bookstore. I think they're gonna mail it to you now, so they'll get it to you in a couple days. Sam runs the bookstore. He's the manager of the bookstore. He's a really reliable guy, so you can get that stuff done pretty fast. So that's the book. And yes, you have to have the MindTap program because of the homework. No, you don't have to have the physical copy of the book. You can use the ebook through MindTap. So in MindTap, you have the ebook. I'll show you that shortly. But you need to buy the MindTap uh, access. I'm going to emphasize that again. It's not optional. I apologize, but it's not optional. I need to have you doing homework somehow. Course theme statistics is as necessary for citizenship as the ability to read and write. Well, I think that's the case. So you may disagree with me, but I strongly believe that if you have data analytic skills, not only will it help you be a consumer of information, it's going to help you get a job. If you can do things that other people can't do and it involves data, because everyone uses data, it's going to help you get a job. I mean, I was looking for faculty positions when I graduated. I got my PhD from Rutgers, and there was nothing available. And so what I did was I went to work for corporate doing data analysis for them. And so I was able to have a job, a full-time job that paid decently, while I was still looking for a faculty job, which I obviously prefer more than working in corporate. But it opens up doors that may not be available to you otherwise. So if you have the data analytic skills, no matter what field you go into, you're going to have an advantage of other people. And in today's job market, which is absolutely horrible, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe there'll be jobs, maybe there won't be jobs. I don't know. It's scary, but you need to have as competitive an advantage as possible. And data analysis, the ability to do some basic data analysis, understand things, is going to give you a big advantage. So I strongly recommend you, even if you're not going to be doing data analysis as a career, that you have some fluency in it. Carl Pearson said that statistics is the grammar of science, and obviously the Pearson correlation is named after Carl Pearson. So there is no science without statistics. There is no psychology without statistics. Statistics is what allows research to happen. Technology, we're going to be using Excel this semester. Normally we use SPSS, as I said. However, I can show you SPSS, give you stuff for it so you can like go look at it and do some things on your own. R is freely available. You can download it. R is kind of difficult to use because it's command line driven. There's no menus, and so there's a steep learning curve because everything's command line. It's like DOS. So before there was Windows, and before there was Mac, there was DOS, and you would log into DOS operating system, and you had to type in all the commands. Now you start up your computer and you have all these nice pictures and shiny things, and the lights go on, and sometimes it talks to you, etc. And it's such a big welcoming experience. But if you go back before Windows, and yes, there was a time before Windows many years ago, there was DOS and it was just a black screen. So you'd boot the computer and you had this black screen and there was a line there. And then you had to go into the directories or type out whatever commands you needed to use. And so I knew all this stuff when I was younger because my father worked with computers all the time. He worked in disaster recovery in a data center. So he's the manager of a data center. So the first computers that I was getting when I was a kid was all DOS driven. And to see like the difference now, it's like, wow, this is great, right? Clicking, drag and click and go through it. It's so much better than typing commands. But R, unfortunately, is command line driven. Some people like that, but a lot of people new to R get intimidated by having to type in every single command without making a mistake. And so that's a little too much, I think, for this class. So we're going to stick with Excel. But if you're interested in R, SPSS, SAS, I like SPSS and R better than SAS. SAS is mainly for marketing business people. I've used all these programs, and I can give you references on these programs, whatever you're interested in. Just let me know. Responsibility of students, you're going to be doing homework. You're going to be watching the lectures that I'm making every week for you to help you. Doing problems, watching me do problems, showing up at office hours if you need it, and doing some basic analysis in Excel, which I will walk you through video tutorials. So it's not going to be scary. You're going to watch a video, you're going to watch me do something, and then you're going to do it. And that's how you learn. That's how I learned. Google is your friend, right? Google knows a lot more than I know. So whatever you don't know, you either contact me or Google. Google gets you the answer. I Google like crazy. So I even have Google Phone, although I don't advise the Google Phone because it's great. Like it's very responsive and it's fast and it does a lot of interesting things, but it doesn't do like things like maintain reception. So like my calls always drop on the stupid Google Phone. Um, so I just liked it because it's Google and it does lots of interesting things, and I tend to like Google, but the phone doesn't hold the reception. So I'm talking on the phone and it keeps cutting out, and I'm like, Google makes the best software, but they don't make the best hardware. Unfortunately, in my case, Apple makes the best hardware, although I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. That Steve Jobs is dead now. Uh, Apple's kind of in this quasi, we don't know what we're doing phase. But generally, Google makes the best software and Apple makes the best hardware. Students will also be required to, besides the homework assignments and the data analysis, computer assignments in Excel, you're going to have 3 exams, and they're going to be online. And the exams will most likely be a combination of multiple choice and problems, and you're going to have to show work for the exams. And there'll be an option where you're going to basically select the steps. Or there'll be some variant of this. I know that a lot of things aren't meant for the online, doing stats online, right? It's easier writing down the problem on a piece of paper and handing it in. We can't do that, but there'll be an option for showing some work in some way digitally. You really do need to know how to do the problems, but you also need to know how to do the concepts or know the concepts. You need both. I'm a big believer in understanding how to do the problems because doing the problems gets your mind to think about the process more. And you tie that with the concepts. It's not just about memorizing concepts and doing flashcards. It's applying these concepts and actually doing the problems to understand the process. Makeup exams are only given for documented emergencies. You should be contacting me if there's a problem, if you're not in class. Well, not in class, if you're not online, and you just like kind of disappear, I need to know. You're not doing any of the work, I need to know. You need to do the work every week. It's very important to do the work every week because otherwise you're going to fall behind. And if you fall behind in this class, it's going to be very difficult because the material builds off of the previous material. So you can't just wait to the end of the semester and say, I need to do chapters 1 through 8. I didn't do chapters 1 through 8. You're halfway through the semester. Can I do it now? Well, the answer is no. You were supposed to be doing chapters 1 to 8 for the first 8 weeks. Now that you haven't done any of it, you're not going to understand it. You're going to be just trying to like guess at things, and it's going to be a mess. You cannot learn this material in 1 or 2 weeks. So if you had other online courses where you just did nothing the whole semester and you showed up at the end of the course and just did everything at the end of the course and took the exams and all that, that's not going to work here. One, because stats, you can't learn stats that way. It's difficult for a lot of students to learn stats. You cannot be putting that much pressure on you. And two, because I don't tolerate that kind of behavior. I don't tolerate this. I want you to do the work every week. I've had students that like they take vacations during now. You're probably not taking vacation now, but I've had in previous semesters they're taking an online class and they're going on vacation for a month, and they're like, "Oh, can I make up a month's worth of work when I get back from vacation?" I'm just like, "Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you taking a vacation in the middle of the class and then not doing any of the work? You have to do the work every week." So if you can't, or there's some problem with this, or you have to go somewhere or do something, or there's some crisis, God forbid, there's something you know going on, let me know, and then I'll work with you to resolve the situation. Here's the grades. Exam 1 is 20%. Exam 2 is 20%. The final exam is non-cumulative. It's also 20%. The Excel assignments are 10% in total, and the MindTap homework assignments are 30%. So I'm putting a big percentage on the homework because I want you to do it. It's going to help you learn. So there's a huge percentage of it. So that basically answers the question: is MindTap optional? Well, without MindTap, you're at starting at 70. It's not a place you want to start. And these are the numerical values for the letter grades. Class participation: I want to see you on Blackboard. You should be doing the work. I should be seeing you turn in the homework assignments. If you're not participating. If you're not logging into Blackboard, you're probably not watching this video right now, and you're, not doing any of the work, and therefore you're not participating, and that's a problem. So you need to show me that you're trying. I can work with you if you're trying, and you're having trouble with the course. I can work with you about that, but I can't work with you if you're not trying. If you make no effort, then I'm not going to make any effort to help you. So it's all about doing the work, trying your best. If you have questions, let me know. I will try to walk you through it. I bought the graphing tablet to specifically work with you on Zoom to write the problems out so you can see it in real time. Now, it's a work in progress. I don't know how great I'm going to be operating it. It's going to take a while, but eventually, you know, I'll be okay writing the problems, out for you, and we'll work through the problems. So that's not going to be an issue. Um, I have no problem helping people that need help. I just have a problem with people that just don't do the work and just are not serious. So, if you have an emergency, financially, you have problems with food, housing, call the single stop, and you go to the website. You might have to email them because there's no offices open right now. But email single stop. You can call them, leave a message, but you go to their website that I have here, and then just request assistance. There is a food pantry for students that are struggling. You don't have food. These people can help you. And everyone should, food should be a right. People should have food. No one should be starving. So if you're in a situation where you don't have food or you don't have housing, these people will help you. They've helped some of my students. They didn't have housing. They got thrown out of their house or they had some problem, and they found them temporary housing just to get them transitioned. So they're helpful. So single stop, very helpful place if you're having problems um, financially, food wise, housing wise, etc. Counseling center is also a popular place these days. I think we all need counseling. I mean, it's been a horrible, horrible few months. I mean, it's something out of a nightmare, out of a out of a horror movie around here. It's been just awful. So it's taken a toll on a lot of people psychologically. People need help, and the counseling center is there to help you. So if you go to the counseling center, you call them. You can't go there in person, obviously. You call them or you send them an email. They'll set up an appointment. You'll do the appointment through Zoom, Skype, one of those, services, and it's free. So if you're stressed, and we're all stressed right now, everybody is stressed right now, given the state of the world, the everything that's going on between the pandemic, between um, the the racial injustice and the hard to believe things that are happening in this country that are very disturbing on a regular basis. Uh, we all need, you know, psychologically, we're all in need of a boost. We're all in need of help. Uh, so counseling centers, they're very good people that work there. They can help you and alleviate the stress concerns you have, the pressure you might feel financially. People have lost their job. Many students have lost their job. I'm very aware of that. People I've known have died. Unfortunately, I know people in my family have died. It's been a bad time. So, and a lot of students are struggling with the issues that have happened, struggling with all kinds of issues, not just pandemic, but issues of, is it safe to like walk down the street? If I walk down the street at night, am I going to be okay? I mean, those issues too. And that shouldn't be the case, but those are issues as well. So, counseling centers are there to help you. Unfortunately, I am not able to counsel you. So, people come to me all the time, ask me, tell me about their situation, ask me for advice and stuff. I can't really do any psychological counseling in my position. I need to refer you out to the counseling center. Office of Compliance and Diversity, if you have a problem, if you've been sexually harassed, discriminated against in some way, you feel like you're not being treated fairly, you can contact this Office of Compliance and Diversity and, express your complaint. So this could be with other students, it could be with faculty members, it could be with staff members. If you feel that you've been discriminated against or harassed in some way, you can then report that to help resolve this issue because you shouldn't be discriminated against or harassed in any way at BMCC. The Office of Accessibility, you can contact them if you have an issue where you need more time for the exams, uh, if you have the documentation from either a therapist, counselor, psychologist, psychiatrist, primary care doctor, etc., and you're having problems processing information and you need, whether those are emotional problems or cognitive problems or whatnot, if you bring them documentation, they will decide whether or not you are entitled to accommodations, and that just generally extra time on exams. Usually students that go through the Office of Accessibility, they take the exams in a separate environment in the actual office there, but since everything's closed now, it's mostly online, but you can actually get extra time online through Blackboard. So I will get an email from them. I can only act if I get an email from them. I can't, don't send me an email requesting extra time or requesting any accommodations because I'm not allowed to do anything. I can only act until this office is contacted, approves it, and then contacts me to make the necessary adjustments. And as far as plagiarism and academic integrity, I assume that you're going to be doing your own work. Do not submit anybody else's work. Do not have anybody else take your exams. Don't be calling people or texting people questions. The exams are timed, and you have to take the exam in one sitting, so you can't exit the exam every question, look up the answer, and go back in the exam. That doesn't work. I want the exams to be as close as possible to a normal exam in a classroom. Now, I know it's not, but I don't want people cheating, and this is something that bothers me a great deal, is when I find people cheating, and I found plenty of people cheating, and I confront them about it, and they start having a meltdown, and they break down, or they play dumb, and it's just a problem. I'm not happy, right? So I expect the same kind of honesty and integrity in the online environment. Study, do your best, earn your grade. You earn your grade. Don't pay someone to do things for you. Right? And I'm going to have you show work too. So it's going to be a little harder. I want you to do your own work. I can identify when people that don't know the material all of a sudden become experts. And I see information there, or the way they solve the problem is a way that I never taught. It's a way that someone else learned in another class. Then I start becoming suspicious and saying, what's going on here? So I expect full compliance with this. Do your own work, do your own exams, do your own projects. Here's the tentative course schedule. Every 5 chapters, I have a built-in exam. And then the final exam will be in finals week. It'll be non-cumulative, so it will not be on the whole semester. It will only be on chapters 11 through 15. I don't believe in giving cumulative exams at BMCC because there's no reading days. They give usually 1 reading day, sometimes 0. It's just not fair to the students to give them cumulative exam with no reading days. And this note is important because it's your responsibility to be registered for classes through the registrar's office and financially cleared through the bursar's office. So you need to be registered and you need to pay your bill. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. BMCC still wants to be paid. Now they may have sent you a stimulus package, some money. I don't know. Some students got this last semester. I don't know what the financial aid situation is currently. I'm sure it's not good. But there's one thing BMCC wants, and that's they want to be paid. And if they don't get the money somehow, they're going to drop your schedule. And you'll just be removed from the classes, and you won't be able to earn a grade in the class. So please don't do this. I've seen people just get dropped. Like 3/4 of the way through the semester, they're doing well, and all of a sudden they're no longer in the class because they didn't pay their bill. So please contact the registrar at the bursar's office to pay your bill. Make arrangements, check on your financial aid. Be on top of this because they do want to get paid. Otherwise, they put holds on you. You can't register. They drop your classes. It becomes a mess. So please try your best to get that financial situation worked out with them. And that's it. I mean, that's the basic rundown of the course. And I'm going to show you some stuff in MindTap now. So I'm going to close this. So now let's go to MindTap. So you see under course information, we just looked at the syllabus. Now we're going to look at MindTap, how to access your course. And so I've attached a PDF here. And this PDF will show you about my course, MindTap. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to click on this link to go to MindTap. And you do get a 2-week free trial that ends on the 9th of September. So you could do your work there if you want the 2-week free trial or you're waiting for financial aid or whatever is happening. But after that free trial ends, you need to pay for access. You also need to use the same email address. Don't make a new account. Use the same email address for the free trial that you're going to use for the paid trial, for the paid product, right? Because if you put in a new email account, there's going to be two of you in my grade book, and then I'm going to be confused. So make sure you're using the same login, the same email for the free trial, and if you convert it to the paid product, make sure you don't change anything. You want one account, not multiple accounts. And I say that because people always make multiple accounts, and it makes it very hard on me. So please, one account. They take credit card, debit card, or they take PayPal. If you're buying through the publisher, if you're buying through the bookstore, you will have a card. It'll say MindTap Access Card. You're going to use the number on that card to then register the product. Because basically, the card means you've paid already for access. You just have to enter the information from the card, the access code in, from that card from the bookstore. That's with the loose leaf. And then once you do that, you put that access code in, you're good. If you're not buying the loose leaf from the bookstore, then you're buying from the publisher directly. You're going to have to then pay online with a debit card, a credit card, or PayPal. So let's click on this registration. And I actually walked through this registration with one of my email accounts to see how straightforward it is. And I'm going to walk you through it because, there's a couple steps you have to take. So click on this link. This link is going to take you to Cengage. You're going to want to make a student account. So I did this today with my personal email, and it's going to ask you for your name, your date of birth, your email, etc. It's going to then verify your email. It's going to send you a message to your email account. And then once you click on that link that they send you, you're going to be able to enter a password, whatever password you want. And they're going to that's going to be your account. So it's pretty basic. You click create student account, you enter your email, and then you enter other personal information, and it sets it up for you. It's not hard. It's pretty self-explanatory. So you're going to do that already because I have an account that I made. So I'm logging in as a student. Oops, I logged in, failed. So you have too many passwords. So once you have your password and you have the account set up, as you can see here, I'm logged into my own class as a student. It says trial access, so I have basically 2 weeks free trial as a student in my own class. I have instructor access, but I wanted to show you what the student account looks like. And it just talks about what you could do. It says enter the course key. So what you want to do to enter the course key is you're going to click on this registration. So when you first log in, you're not going to have this trial access. You're going to have to click on register another course or product. And it's going to say enter course link, access code, or course key. So that course link you're going to use to register, which I already did here. I already registered today, is I took the course link from the sheet that I just showed you. So this MindTap course PDF. So if you just click on this thing here and copy it, copy link address, and you paste it into this box and hit register, it's going to register you for the trial access. And you're going to have what I have here now. So all you have to do is copy this link, right click and copy it, paste it into this register. You'll see this register course or product. You'll see that. So you click on that link and then paste it like that and hit register. And that will give you the trial access. So once you have the trial access, you could then upgrade it. This is telling you that if you have a paid subscription, you can rent the textbook for $7.99 from them. So it might be cheaper if you want the hard copy of the book to rent from them. If you have something called Cengage Unlimited. Now, you don't have to have Cengage Unlimited for this course. If you want to get it, it's $20 more, and they get you access to basically all Cengage products. So you have Cengage for another course. If someone's using a Cengage book, you'll be able to access all the course material for $20 more than what it gets you for this course. So it's worth it if you have 2 courses or more that use Cengage, but it really depends on what your instructors are using. So this is my trial access. It says ready to purchase, so I can view this now if I want. Or if I want to purchase it, it says ready to purchase access to course materials. Click on review options. And this is if you want to buy it. So you have the 2-week free trial. If you have the Launchpad access code from the bookstore, you click this, it says enter access code. It comes in a little card in the book from the bookstore. You could just put the access code in here and register it, and you're good. You don't have to pay anything because you already paid the bookstore for it. If you don't have the access card, you're just going to buy the ebook online. It's $95, and that gets you the MindTap program plus the ebook. This is pretty much the standard cost for all these digital platforms. If you wanted Cengage Unlimited, this gives you all Cengage books. So it gives you the full library of textbooks, e-texts. So any product Cengage has, you have access to it. So you can read a billion other books they have. They have a ton of books, psychology books, or whatever books. You have access to all of them. So if you want access to all these books for 4 months, it's going to be $24 more. So that's up to you. You're only required for my course to do the individually here. And that will get you the ebook and the MindTap. But if you want other courses, if you have another instructor that uses Cengage and uses the platform, the MindTap, which I don't know if they do or not, you can get that for $119. It's worth it, right? Than buying 2 products separately. You just get the unlimited here. So, or if you just have extra money and you want to read through other books, you could do that. So that's unlimited. You're required though to have at least the individual one. Okay. So let's log into the course. Under courses, you'll have the course listed here, Psych 220, Fall 220. So now I'm logging into the course to show you what the course looks like. So here's your course. These are all the chapters we're going to be going through. Right now we're just doing chapter 1. The first thing you want to do though is do the Get Started video. So this talks a little bit about MindTap. So this is all due September 6th. That's the first assignment for the course, September 6th, 11:59 p.m. So you click Get Started, you watch the video. It's not that hard. And now you want to do chapter 1 because you have to do chapter 1 for the first week. Chapter 1 has these exercises. So it has mastery training, which is like flashcards, and they ask you terms and stuff. Here's the book. If you want to read the book, you can click here and you read the book, chapter 1. It says read chapter 1. These are the end of chapter problems. So these are a bunch of problems that ask you concepts. These all count towards grades too. So you're going to get a grade on this. So you don't want to do this until you read the book first. Read the book, watch the lecture, and then start doing the end of the chapter problems, the problem set. So the problem set, you have 3 attempts at each problem, and it averages your grade. So if you get the first problem right, you don't have to do it again. You have up to 3 attempts, and it averages the 3 attempts out for each problem, and that gives you the grade on each problem. So if you get the first attempt right, move on to the next question, because there's no point doing it again because you might screw it up the second time. That brings your average down. So if you get max problems on the first attempt, move on to the next problem. If you don't get max points on the first attempt, it generally gives you a hint and then you can attempt it again. And if you get max problems the second attempt, then you're good. Stop there. So you really want to stop when you get the max score. Don't do any more for each problem because you do have 3 sets. And then chapter 1 exam, these are multiple choice questions. And you see the point values here, right? So you have to do where it says count towards grade. These are all things you have to do. This is just the chapter, reading the chapter. These are all counting towards grade. And the due dates are September 6th. And you're going to have the same setup every week. Now at the bottom, you have a problem demonstration library, and it talks about how to do the problems, especially the computation. This is summation, and you don't have to do this, but these are videos that you, yeah, it's, you can listen to it. It's showing you basically how to do the problem. So it's helpful. X out of that. Then you have also calculations. So click on that. It shows you more calculations, how to do it. So there's lots of demonstrations. So it shows you the videos. And then you have this problem tutorial library. This is not a video. This is basically walking through how to compute it. So this one is sum of x squared. It says compute sum of x squared. So basically what this says is sum up all the x values. These are your x values. Basically, we just call them x by default. The first variable is x. The second variable is y, right? So there's only one variable here. So just add up these scores. You get 13, 14, 16, right? And then once you add them up, you then square 16. You're going to get 256. And there's a little calculator here if you need it. Check your answer. Correct. Do you want to show your work? And then it gives you step by step. There are only 2 operations in this expression, summing and squaring. First, you're going to sum because you do with the parentheses first. Whatever's in the parentheses occurs first. So you sum, and they say yes, you do that. After summing, what do? You square, check answer, yes, and then it asks you for the value, which was 256. Well, actually, what is the sum of the scores? It was 16. Correct. Given that the sum is 16, now you square it. What do you get? 256. Correct. So then it says you could try a similar problem or you can try the exact same problem. You could try the same values if you had trouble with this, or you can try a similar problem and it'll give you different scores. And it walks you through it again. So that's a practice tutorial that's interactive, that's helpful when you're doing these problems. Rather than just give you the lecture and have you read the book, you have these tutorials that you can do online, which I think are useful, especially in an online course. Then you have another one. This is x minus 2. Same setup here. T each score, subtract 2, right? So it's 2 minus 2 is 0. 5 minus 2 is 3. 1 minus 2 is negative 1, so that gives 2. And then 6. So, correct, 8. And if you want to show your work, it asks you step by step again what you do. And it gets you familiar with this. Some basic stuff. And as it goes on, it's going to be much more complicated, right? So chapter 1 is pretty basic. It's just some basic summations. But let's say I go down to analysis of variance chapter and I go to problem library. Now it's like going to be, much more complicated here. And it's going to show you all your steps because now you're dealing with multiple groups and, you have to find the sum squares between. So it gets more complicated than what I'm showing you. Every chapter builds off each other, and it's going to get harder as we go along. Now, I don't think it's going to be super, super impossible. I think most of it's going to be manageable for the vast majority of you. You just have to do the work. And some of you will say it's very easy. And it's probably going to be easier than if you took the class face-to-face. The face-to-face class would be harder than you're going to get online. It's just the way it is. So maybe that benefits you. I don't know. There's the fact that it's a little easier versus the fact that there's no face-to-face interaction. I can't show you the problems on the board. It kind of cancels out, So I think I'm very fair, and if you do the work, you shouldn't have a problem. As long as you're on top of things. It's the people that don't stay on top of things that struggle. So try to stay on top of it. Do the work in a timely manner each week. So every week you're going to be having a chapter uh, in this mind tap, right? If you want to read the book, you could either click the chapter here and read the book, or you can click the book here on the side. It says full book. And you can read the full book. So this is your ebook. If you like reading the ebook or not, I don't know. I'm fine reading ebooks, but some people don't like to read ebooks. And you go to table of contents is here. So here's the table of contents, and you can then pick what you want to do. So it's all there for you in the book. And that's pretty much it for MindTap. Um, you could take notes here. Yeah. You can do a lot. There's other things here you can do, but the main thing are the books and do the problems in the MindTap. Those are the things I want you to focus on here. So this is me as a student, so I can get out of the student. As an instructor, I have access to a bunch of other things that you won't need, but this is a student. If you want to see what's due, you can click either the list view, this is the list view, or the calendar view. And it says right now, this current week, nothing is due. Well, obviously, because I didn't want to give you work on a short week, so I pushed everything back to the next week. So chapter 1 is here in week 2. And this is what's due on the 6th of September on a Sunday. These are the things that are due. They're due on Sunday the 6th. And that's it. Pretty basic. So either the list or the calendar, it doesn't matter. The due dates are here anyway. If you do the list and the calendar, the due dates are just in like a calendar format. It's the same thing. So that's MindTap. Pretty basic. You have to create an account, register, and then either pay or do the 2-week free trial. So hopefully that helps you get that set up. Let's go back to the course. So this is the registration. Here's the link again. Do I put it here? Yeah, here. So here's the course link. So you can actually copy it from here. So if you don't, you can either copy it from the PDF like I showed you, or you can just copy paste from here and dump it into the registration, and it'll bring up my course that I just showed you. So if you have technical support, you can click this link that can help you set things up. You click on that link and you get to this MindTap student help. It talks about troubleshooting. It talks about setting up an account, getting started with MindTap. Yeah, so it's all here, like different things you need. How do you sign in, the grace period, how do you manage the account, create an account. So this walks you through step by step how to create the account. It's pretty much you enter your email and your password, you have it. There's nothing too complicated here. Purchase access online. So this is Cengage Unlimited. You don't need Cengage Unlimited. You just need access for the course. If you want to get Cengage Unlimited, you can get it, but you don't need it. You'll get my course with Cengage Unlimited, but you pay $24 more. So it's only the best option if you have another Cengage course, or you just want the extra books to read, which some people do. So getting started with MindTap can also give you activities. It shows you what to do. I showed you basically the stuff in the course that I just showed you. So this is just a kind of help, and then you can have you can contact their customer support as well if you have more questions, technical questions. So that's it for that. So let's go back, and now I want to talk about the weekly guide. The weekly guide is the key for the course. There's only 1 week so far. Week 1, which starts today, ends 9/6. So that's when everything's due. Here are your learning objectives for week 1. I should actually make this, put the title of the chapter we're in here. So I'll do that. I'll fix this up a little better. Click on week 1. Here's your to-do list. So for this week that ends on 9/6, you got to do the basic math review and the introduction to statistics. So this is Appendix A, and so here's the book. Appendix A is the basic math review. Chapter 1 is the introduction to stats, right? And here are your assignments. You want to review Appendix A. You want to do your MindTap registration. You want to watch the Get Started video in MindTap, which I showed you before. You want to complete all those homework assignments that say to be graded in MindTap. And you want to watch my video lecture, which I've made for you. So all these assignments are due 9/6 at 11:59 p.m. This is the registration that you saw before. I just put it here so you see it twice to make sure you're registering. Here's the video lecture in YouTube. So if you click on this, you're going to get a YouTube video for chapter 1. I lecture all the chapters and I post them on YouTube. And when you click the YouTube link, it brings you to YouTube. You watch my lecture. Now, if you get bored of my lecture and you know all the material already and you don't want to listen to me ramble on and on and on, which I like to do at times, I try to stay on topic, but I interject some things occasionally. You can actually just skip through the YouTube if you don't want to listen to me. I suggest you listen to the lecture though, because it's really my sort of trying to break down the concepts more for you. So it's helpful to read the book, but I explain things a little bit different than the book does. And so when you have two people explaining the book versus me, you have a better chance of understanding it because we both explain things slightly differently. They're pretty much the basic concepts are the basic concepts, but I give you examples and stuff in the lecture. So it takes me time to record the lectures. You should really look through them for the course. It's helpful. And I also had given you the slides for chapter 1, and so you have the actual slides that I lecture with. And if you want, you can take notes on the slides if you want to download the slides, and then while you watch the lecture, you can write down additional things and take notes on it. That's a good way to go about it. Take notes while you're watching a lecture, and if you have the slides, you can take extra notes on the slides. So whatever you're comfortable with, you can do. But watch the lecture, take notes. See the slides. You have the slides. I'm providing you everything. You have the book. You have my lectures. And so you have a bunch of different resources here to help you. And so the weekly guide will have different weeks. So week 2, you'll have week 2 and the date and the topic. I'll put the topic in here. I just forgot to do it. And you'll have a folder for every week. And if you do everything in the folder, if you do everything in the to-do list, which I give you at the top of the page, so you can follow, you'll be fine. So mostly what you have to do is read, watch the lecture, do the MindTap, and then when you have the data analysis assignments, I'll give you due dates for that. I'll give you videos to watch, and you'll be doing that on your own and submitting the data analysis assignments. And then when you have exams, they'll be in the weekly guide. It'll say exam 1. There'll be a thing here for exam 1, a link. You'll click on exam 1. It'll take you to the online exam. And everything will be submitted online. And then all the grades will be in the grade book. I will submit the grades into Blackboard, and you'll have access to all your grades. And that's it. It's pretty basic. So hopefully everything is straightforward. Once again, take the e-learning orientation. If you're not familiar with online classes, take it. It's helpful. It's not a waste of your time. It's going to help you navigate Blackboard. The announcements, look for all the announcements every week, or not every week. Every time I do office hours, I send an announcement. And I generally send it to your BMCC email address too. So look for that. And the weekly guide for everything due each week, the course information tab for the syllabus, and the registration for MindTap. And that's about it for the course. And, I might have a tab here for submitting the statistics of the data analysis assignments, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe I won't. I could probably have you just submit it through, assignments or something. I'll put the link here for assignments, and you can submit it. It won't be that difficult. There'll be something here that says like data analysis assignments. There'll be a link here, and then you click on it, and it'll have all the assignments, the data analysis assignments, and then you just click on the link and upload the document. Upload your assignment. Generally as a PDF. Um, I usually like everything as a PDF because it's easier to read because I use PC, so I have access to Microsoft Office. But some students send me some strange Mac documents, like word processors on Mac that I don't have access to, and then I can't open the file. So I prefer to have all the assignments, like the data analysis assignments, submitted as PDF files. It's just easier, or Excel files too, to show me the actual work. And I will make that very, clear and well written. It'll be crystal clear to you what I expect when I start asking for those assignments. So pretty basic stuff. The course requires a lot of work on your part, but I am available for help. I'm a good resource. For this course, I'm a really good resource. Everybody in the world asked me to do their analysis. I mean, serious. I could make a ton of money just doing analysis for people. It's like that crazy. I just, guess I'm just lazy. I'm just too lazy to do it. Eventually, I'll have to do. I'm opening up a consulting company eventually when the pandemic resolves, and I'll be doing more data consulting for people. So I have to work on that aspect of things. But you know, I tend to be a little bit lazy about things. You know, as we all are. We're all lazy at times, right? Sometimes you have to super motivate yourself to do things, but the pandemic makes it hard, right? So I have to try to break you out of this. So if you've been lazy with regards to school, it's time to wake up, shake yourself, pour some water, cold water on you, wake up and get ready for this because we all need to push forward and get things done despite the situation in the world. So if you need me, I'm available through Zoom, email, etc., not through phone. Contact me, and I look forward to working with you throughout the semester and that you have a good semester and enjoy the course material, learn a lot, and can apply it to future things, future endeavors in your life. So, bye for now. See you online.